Auditing Theory, Chapter 11, Additional Information. Special Considerations, Audits of Financial Statements prepared in accordance with Special Purpose Frameworks. Examples of Special Purpose Frameworks are a tax basis of accounting for set of financial statements that accompany an entity's tax return, the cash receipts and disbursements basis of accounting for cash flow information an entity may be requested to prepare for creditors, the financial reporting provisions established by a regulator to meet the requirements of that regulator, the financial reporting provisions of a conduct such as bond indenture, a loan agreement, or a project grant. When forming an opinion and reporting on special purpose financial statements, the auditor shall apply the requirements in PSA 700, forming an opinion and reporting on financial statements. An auditor's report shall describe the purpose for which the financial statements are prepared, and if necessary, the intended users, or refer to a note in the special purpose financial statements that contains the information. If management has a choice of financial reporting frameworks in the preparation of special purpose financial statements, the explanation of management's responsibility for financial statements shall also make reference to its responsibility for determining the applicable financial reporting framework is acceptable in the circumstances. The auditor's report on special purpose financial statements shall include the emphasis of matter paragraph alerting users of the auditor's report that the financial statements are prepared in accordance with special purpose framework and that, as a result, the financial statements may not be suitable for another purpose. Special considerations, audit of single financial statements and specific elements, accounts, or items of financial statements. When forming an opinion and reporting on a single financial statement or on a specific element of financial statement, the auditor shall apply the requirements in PSA 700, adapted as necessary in circumstances of the engagement. If the auditor undertakes the engagement to report in a single financial statement or in a specific element of a financial statement, in conjunction with an engagement to audit entity's complete set of financial statements, the auditor shall express a separate opinion for each engagement. An audited single financial statement or an audited specific element of a financial statement may be published together with the entity's complete set of financial statements. If the auditor concludes that it is necessary to express an adverse opinion or disclaim an opinion on entity's complete set of financial statements as a whole, the auditor is not permitted to include in the same auditor's report an unmodified opinion on a single financial statement that forms part of those financial statements or on a specific element that forms part of those financial statements. If the audit concludes that it is necessary to express an adverse opinion or disclaim an opinion in an entity's complete set of financial statements as a whole, but in a context a separate audit of a specific element that is included in those financial statements, the auditor nevertheless consider it appropriate to express an unmodified opinion on that element. The auditor shall only do so if the auditor is not prohibited by law or regulation from doing so. The opinion is expressed in auditor's report that it is not published together with auditor's report containing the adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion. The specific element does not constitute a major portion of entity's complete set of financial statements. Engagement to report on summary financial statements. PSA 810, revised and redacted, deals with the auditor's responsibility when undertaking an engagement to report on summary financial statements derived from financial statements audited in accordance with PSAs by that same auditor. The auditor's report on the summary financial statements may be dated later than the date of the auditor's report on the audited financial statements. The auditor shall date the auditor's report on the summary financial statements no earlier than the date on which the auditor obtained sufficient appropriate evidence on which to base the opinion, including evidence that the summary financial statements have been prepared and those with the recognized authority have asserted that they have taken responsibility for them, and the date of auditor's report on the audited financial statements. When the auditor's report on an audited financial statements contain a qualified opinion, the emphasis of matter paragraph or another matter paragraph, but the auditor is satisfied that the summary financial statements are consistent in all material respects with or a rare fair summary of the audited financial statements in accordance with the applied criteria, the auditor's report on summary financial statements shall state the auditor's report and audited financial statements contain a qualified opinion and emphasis of matter paragraph and another matter paragraph, describe the basis for the qualified opinion on the audited financial statements, and that qualified opinion or the emphasis of matter paragraph or other matter paragraph in auditor's report in the audited financial statements. Describe also the effect thereof on the summary financial statements, if any. When the auditor's report on audited financial statements contain an adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion, the auditor's report on a summary financial statement shall state that the auditor's report on the audited financial statements contains an adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion. Describe the basis of that adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion. State that as a result of the adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion, it is inappropriate to express an opinion on a summary financial statement. If the summary financial statements are not consistent in all material respects with or are not a fair summary of the audited financial statements in accordance with the applied criteria, and management does not agree to make necessary changes, the auditor shall express the adverse opinion on summary financial statements. When distribution or use of the auditor's report on the audited financial statements is restricted, or the auditor's report on the audited financial statements alerts the readers that the audited financial statements are prepared in accordance with the special purpose framework, the auditor shall include similar restrictions or alert the auditor's report on the summary financial statement.